Hi, I'm Alex Archbold. I've been buying and selling antiques since I was a kid. Over the years, generations of our family have gotten involved in the business, and I'll search just about anywhere I can to find hidden treasures both big and small. I never know what I'll turn up next. It's about exploring new places, seeing new sights, and having fun. And even though sometimes I get over my head, we try and make things a little better along the way. This is Curiosity Inc. We're on our second last day here in Manhattan and going for a little walk, albeit rainy. Coming across the giant Liechtenstein in this office tower reminded me that we're not far from the Modern Museum of Art, or the MoMA. So I've got the family in tow, and that's where we're headed today. Someplace I've always wanted to go. Some amazing works of art there, and it should be a lot of fun. So just down West 53rd, past the skyscrapers and the gray concrete jungle that this street is. At the very end, we're going to find the Museum of Modern Art. We've got tickets for the day. And we're getting close to the Diamond District too, so there's a lot more jewelry stores kind of getting close to this area as well. Which I have to be good not to stop and look at watches, because that is a weakness. Well, if anybody ever wondered if art was still popular or not, this lineup for the Museum of Modern Art goes all the way around the corner, down the block. I have no idea where the end of it is. There's a massive lineup to get in here. Even though we have tickets, I'm sure everybody here has tickets, but it's the biggest line I've seen so far. Actually, the Statue of Liberty line might have been longer. When in line for the Museum of Modern Art, prepare to wait. The lineup quite literally goes around the block, and these are big city blocks here. We've been moving maybe half a building at a time, so maybe about 15 steps and then stop. But when you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see some amazing artwork, you gotta take it. I'd say it's worth the wait, but if you come, probably best to show up early. We got here right for when doors open at 10:30 a.m. Probably recommend get here well beforehand. There must have been people lined up here since 9 a.m. waiting outside, and they'll be the first ones in. So either you wait an hour and a half up at the front, or you wait an hour and a half, 2 hours at the back. Either way, we're going to see some neat stuff today. And we're going to take you with us. Finally made it indoors. I have no idea where we're going now. I guess we'll find out. Well, down below is where you come in. You come up and they have the Creativity Lab, which I'll have to go check that out. And this big art installation, this open area. It's absolutely massive, these big wire hoops, like Carolina, I should say. Okay, let's go explore. This is a piece by Augusto Machado called Shrine. And they've got all sorts of interesting little things on every bit of the shelf. This says it's a fallout shelter.
Your only chances of survival if you remember these facts about protection in the nuclear age.
From a distance you look at it and go, well, there's some silvery looking jars, but there's sweat and pus, vomit, a lot of things you should not want to knock over. Modern art. This exhibit, they've grouped certain colors of stuffed animals, greens and oranges and blues, and put them all together and hung them. We have to try and figure out what they're saying. Strange to see. You walk around, you look but don't touch. It says Mike Kelly's deodorized central mass with satellites. Decided to make sculptures from stuffed animals. Said they're purchased from secondhand stores. Well, that's interesting. Represents moral decline. Well, it also looks like a giant mass of stuffed animals. You want to look in the sculpture room over here? Let's see if we can sneak in and have a look. It looks like they're all strung beads.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please?
So this exhibit is called House of Hope. He, after his wife was diagnosed with cancer, took on a lot of Buddhist principles, bead making and stuff, started making this. It would have been a tremendous amount of work. It's a lot of beads. Steven is trying to decide whether this is really giant rusted blocks or whether it's painted to look like you can't touch it, but he's trying to smell it. Any
I'm not
clues?
trying to smell it.
Oh, I thought you were trying to smell it.
No, I was looking really close.
Oh,
It looks like it might just be very thin sheets of metal put together into squares.
well, it could be. We should find out what it represents. I'm not deep enough to be able to read into a bunch of blocks without a little help. Okay, so these are giant forged steel blocks. And this artist, it's really just a play on, instead of doing art in the normal sense, he's interested with mass and weight and quantity. So that is the art. It's a different way of looking at it. Now there is a big tapestry. I actually quite like it. I really like the colors and the use of thread, the fabric. That's a big piece. It's like almost 2 stories tall. Let's get a closer look. Let's see who the artist is. Autobong Nkanga.
The cycle of life and death and rebirth.
Oh, the cycle of life. Oh, death and rebirth, it says. And a Stephen, apparently. What I was most excited about was actually the 5th floor where the artwork, the historic pieces are. And somewhere, all of the more modern, well, I shouldn't say modern, this is 1880 to 1940, but some of my more favorite pieces of modern art are in this area. So we're gonna explore and see what we can find. They also have an area where they show some more modern commercial art, like this Max Bill sun lamp. Maybe you have something like that in your house, and look, it could be in a museum. Or the Egon Riss Penguin Donkey bookcase made out of plywood, 1939. Vasily Kandinsky. Oh, I see. Vasily did the painting, and Marcel Breuer did the Chez Lounge, molded and cut plywood and upholstered. And yes, furniture can be art. There's some Art Deco pieces in here. 1924, the beautiful little teapot set. Marianne Brandt, oh, she did the ceiling lamp up top. And Marcel Breuer did the club chair, of course, very famous, and you've seen this replicated throughout the years. This one is from the 1920s, but all through the 1970s and 80s, you would see these sort of reproduced and sold at other stores. A very famous style and design, which I thought was really cool when I was younger. Always wanted one of those. Of course, one of the more famous pieces they have here is Salvador Dali, The Persistence of Memory. I always imagined it to be a much bigger piece than that. But yeah, 1931. Jackson Pollock piece called The She-Wolf. The fifth floor here seems to be the most popular by far. This is where everybody is having a look. Jason's got another shot of the exhibit that we saw when we were downstairs. Here we've got, it's the female bust. There's ants all around the forehead and coming out of the mouth. It's got this necklace of corn, a loaf of bread, and they've made an inkwell on the top. And the artist, of course, none other than Salvador Dali. Here's a famous piece by Paul Gauguin, Wash for Women. This has got to be 1800s, yeah, 1888. When you get up close, you can see he used a really sparse amount of paint on that canvas. You can still see the canvas board through the paints. See the way the fabric is. Yeah, it's really famous painting. Well, most of these are very famous paintings, but there's a Matisse landscape. Yeah, this is a Georges de Chirico. Gosh, I really like the use of colors on this. The stark green, the whites, the red, the shadows. This would be an early morning sunrise maybe, or sunset. Got some stark contrast there. This piece is called The Little Theater by Salvador Dali, and he really was creative. I mean, whether it was busts or paintings, he just didn't, like, it's multiple layers of glass that have been painted, and no matter which way you look at it, look, things sort of just move around because of the layers, that you really feel immersed in the art, and it's lit. What a really cool piece this is. I've never actually seen this before, especially not live in person, but it's just absolutely stunning to look at. We've left that last wing, which was very surreal, and we've entered into the realm of Matisse. Bright use of colors. It's just a lot it's so much to take in all at once. And amongst all the other art, of course, you have a bicycle wheel and a stool. You might have fine art sit in your garage right now. Bicycle Wheel by Marcel Duchamp was first made in 1913. He simply thought it looked neat, as most people do, and it was a way to question what is actually art. But it is one of the first kinetic sculptures ever made, and it's one of his first ready-made sculptures. One of his other more famous ones was where he just simply took a urinal and painted the name Armut on the side of it and put it in a gallery. You take regular objects, you put them in a different setting, and it makes you look at it in a whole different way. What is art is in the eye of the beholder. You might wonder why there's such a giant crowd over here. That's because Van Gogh's Starry Night is right across the room. If I can wiggle my way over there to get a closer picture of it. Clearly this is one of the more popular exhibits here at the museum. It's hard even getting this close to it. 1820. Well, the crowds are focused around Van Gogh's Starry Night, what celebrity that picture has. There's a nice Seurat here with nobody nearby, and I can kind of have a good look at, see how he did the border all the way around, the different colors, pointillism. Here's a Paul Gauguin, still life with 3 puppies, nice bright colors. It seems like a lot of the modern artists did a really dark wash of their canvas and then put the bright colors over top to give you that really dramatic sort of heavy feeling behind it. I like it. In this gallery, they have deconstructed sections of buildings. You can see, you know, where the floor was, where the windows were, or still are. It's neat. I mean, in this setting, it's different. When I'm in an old house or doing a renovation, I kind of look at things the same way. You kind of see the colors, the textures, what was left behind. It all feels like art. And apparently somebody else felt the same way. Apparently Andy Warhol started painting cans of soup because that's what he had access to. It's all he could afford at the time. I didn't realize with this installation that he has almost every kind of type of soup covered, from pepper pot to chicken to consomme, tomato, minestrone. The whole works are here. Jason has wandered up to get a good look at Andy Warhol's Marilyn Monroe. Certain paintings in the gallery have a bigger crowd. The Warhols are drawing. Nothing quite like the Van Gogh and the Salvador Dali, though, that's for sure. Well, we finished up at the Museum of Modern Art. We're trying to make our way to the Lego store now. Tried crossing the road back there, but it was all shut down because the president drove by and they had a big presidential motorcade, and the police come with barricades and shut everything down. So we're taking an alternate route, depending upon how you look at it, to go and try and find the store. Hopefully we'll get there and stay dry in the meantime. So if you find yourself in Manhattan, you've got to come check out the Museum of Modern Art. It is amazing. There's things you've never seen before and might never see again. Stay tuned for more adventures, subscribe and like, and as always, bye for now.